Welcome and thank you for joining. Today's micro skills will be behavioral activation and activity scheduling, or creating a menu of activities to regulate mood and build emotional reserve. I'm Jason Satterfield. I'm a clinical psychologist and a professor of medicine at the University of California in San Francisco. In order to demonstrate this skill, we first need a foundational concept, the CBT Triangle, where CBT stands for cognitive behavioral therapy. This is a simple model that helps us understand why we feel the way that we feel by looking at how we're thinking and what we're doing, our behaviors or our activities. You'll notice that on this triangle, there are bidirectional arrows that connect each of the corners of the triangle. So if you want to understand what you're feeling, it's good to take a step back and to think about what you're thinking and to look at what you're doing, the behavioral choices you may or may not be engaged in at that particular moment. If you want to manage emotions, anxiety, depression, joy, or love, you might think about changing your thoughts or changing your behaviors. In this particular skill, behavioral activation and activity scheduling will just be looking at behaviors. So why behavior? Well, we know that our behavioral choices have direct mood effects. So they can directly boost our mood up or they might lower our mood down. You can probably come up with some examples yourself of doing something enjoyable or maybe doing something that's onerous or unpleasant. But they also give us a sense of meaning. They can give us a sense of accomplishment. They can give us a sense of affiliation or connection with other people. Even if it's just a video chat or it's a phone call, it can take us out of our heads for a moment and it can help us remember that there are people out there that we really care about. We also think that behaviors have a summative effect throughout the course of the day. And what we mean by that is if you look at all of the behaviors, big and small, that we engage in throughout the course of the day, from the time we wake up until the time we go to bed at night, each of those has a little bit of an effect on your mood. What you choose to eat for breakfast, whether or not you go outside and get some sunshine, if you make that call to a friend, if you're able to whip out that paper that you've been wanting to finish for oh so long, or maybe you watched an enjoyable movie. Each of those is going to have an effect on the way that you feel at the end of the day. So our goal then is to create a balanced diet of activities that meets our psychological and physical needs. We want to find a balance between things we have to do and things we want to do. We want to find a balance between pleasurable activities, things that give us a sense of pleasure or enjoyment, and things that give us a sense of accomplishment. We want to look at social activities and activities maybe that we do on our own. We also want to make sure that we include some physical activity, things that maybe get our heart rate up, give us some exercise, but we also want to include activities that take us in the opposite direction and cause some somatic quieting or relaxation, things like breathing exercises or maybe like meditation or yoga. Here's a simple activity record that you can use to keep track of the things that you do and the effects that they have on your mood. You can see that it's a simple calendar with each of the columns representing one day of the week, and the rows are the different times of the day. Now, you don't have to be super detailed with this, but fill in as much as you're able to fill in. I would say to take one of these, think about the week coming up prospectively. Go ahead and populate the boxes of things that you might have scheduled, or if there's a certain time that you get up in the morning, certain time that you have dinner in the evening, go ahead and fill those in. Then look for the white spaces. Look for opportunities when you can intentionally select an activity. Maybe it's a social activity. Maybe it's a project. Maybe it's something that's enjoyable. But go ahead and select that activity and put it in that white space. At the end of the day, rate your mood on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 is the best, 1 is the worst mood. Go ahead and do that for the next week. Then reflect on what you have. Look at the day of the week when your mood was highest. Look at the day of the week when your mood was lowest. What was the most potent activity in terms of raising your mood? What was the most potent activity in terms of lowering your mood? If you do this over the course of a couple of weeks, you'll get a much better sense of the things that really drive your mood over the course of a day. And of course, those are the activities that you want to prioritize in the up and coming weeks. So in summary, behaviors and activities can have a profound and summative effect on moods and well-being. We want to use an activity schedule to first plot out our activities for the next week, revise these activities for different kinds of balance. You want to add in additional activities that will improve mood, social connection, and wellness. You want to rate your mood at the end of each day. And each week, you want to identify the most potent mood boosters and be sure to schedule them regularly in the weeks coming up. Best of luck to you and enjoy those activities.